Good evening, our listeners. Welcome on our video today. Today we are looking at history and government, and this one is paper 2. This one is a complete exam, and this one is out of 100 marks. Just as you know, history has two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 Kenyan history, paper 2 world history. So this one is paper 2 world history, and this one is very simple. We have very many questions here and answers for you. We are going to discuss with you. You can also write a comment for us down there. Maybe a question has more point than the ones that we shall mention here or we have written. You can add yours in the comment section, and when you do that, other lovers of history or other student will see your answer, and definitely we are making our subject to be loved by many. If this is your first time to watch our videos, kindly subscribe to our channel, like this video, and turn on notification. The subscribers, we really want to thank you guys for your support. You can see the channel is growing because of your support, and as you can see, these are the instructions you are given in KCSE. You're told this paper consists of section A, B, and C. All the questions in section A, they're supposed to be answered. In section B and in section 3 questions in section B, you answer 3 questions in section B, and you answer 2 questions in section C, and then you must write that work in English. So here, this is how the paper look like, and let's go straight to question number 1. And section A is out of 25 marks, number 1 to number 17 or maybe 18. So let's start. Number 1, you're told give 2 unwritten sources of information in history and government, and that one we have unwritten sources, oral tradition, linguistics, anthropology, archaeology, and then genetics. Number 2, name one type of artifact that is likely to be found in an archaeological site. Number 1 is remains of weapons. Number 2, remains of ornaments. Number 3, remains of garments. Next, remains of coins. Next, remains of food, e.g. cereals. Number 3, I thought name one type of early manuscript which is likely to contain information on history and government. We have early manuscript. That one is a scroll, a stone tablets, and then the parchment, not parliament but parchment. Number 4, name the scientist who discovered the evolution theory on the origin of man. That one is Charles Darwin. Number 5, give 2 ways in which early man obtained food. Number 1, through hunting. Number 2, gathering. Number 3, growing crops. Number 4, livestock keeping. And then the last one is fishing. Number 6, identify 2 effects of wheel in Mesopotamia. It led to making of high quality pots from clay. Number 2, it was used to make various chariots. Next, it was used to make war carts carrying agricultural produce. Next, led to the development of roads. Number 7, you're told define the term urbanization. Urbanization is the concentration of people in certain places which grow land to be called towns. Urbanization also is the process by which people are attracted to settlement of large human attraction. Number 9, you're told to state the main function of the golden stool in the Asante Empire during the pre-colonial period. It was a symbol of unity within the Asante. 10. State the main reason why the European powers held the Berlin Conference during the pre-colonial period, to discuss how the partition or divided share Africa among themselves peacefully. Number 11, state 2 ways in which the Europeans maintained peace among themselves during the partition of Africa by signing treaties among themselves. Number 12, identify 2 roles played by ex-soldiers in the struggle of African nationalism after 1945. So the role played by ex-soldiers, people who accompanied the white man soldiers to go to war in the Second World War. So what role do they played? Number 1, they applied military skills or tactics acquired to fight colonialists. Number 2, they trained African nationalists in military fighting skills. Number 3, they joined the nationalist movement. Next, they organized or mobilized African nationalists. And then the last one, they serviced the weapons used by the African nationalists. Number 13, give 2 ways in which the Treaty of Versailles signed in 1919 affected Germany. They reduced the size of Germany, so it meant or it forced the reduction of the size of Germany. Number 2, remember in this treaty, Germany was blamed on that war, so it was reduced in size. Number 2, Germany was forbidden from uniting with Austria. Next, Germany lost her colonies in Africa and other territories in Europe. Next, the size of Germany military strength was restricted. Next, Germany was forced to pay war damages. Number 14, give the main incident which made Japan to surrender unconditionally to the Allied powers in 1945. The dropping of atomic bomb at Nagasaki in 1945. Number 15, name 2 principal organs of the United Nations. 2 principal organs: the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Secretariat, the Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice. Number 16, identify 2 leaders who are founder members of non-allied movement. This one is very common, they repeat it. You can also see it in your exam, KCSE. We have 2 leaders who were founder members of non-allied movement: Broz Tito of Yugoslavia. We have Gamal Abdel Nasser of Egypt. We have Jawaharlal Nehru of India. Then Dr. Ahmed Sukarno from Indonesia. Then we have Chuo Enlai. This one is from China. Number 17, name 1 member state of Common Market of Eastern and Southern Africa. Member state. Remember, you said you must remember all the organizations because they are many and they are members for you to get marks, and also remember the objectives and the achievement. So we have Burundi, we have DRC Congo, we have Kenya, we have Egypt, we have Ethiopia, Libya, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Eritrea, Uganda, Sudan, Malawi. Next one, section B. Section B, we said you answer 3 questions. 3 questions only. That is what you're supposed to do, and that one will help you perform well. Don't try to answer all the questions. And we said when you are answering, make sure that you number. Make sure that you number your work. Because when you write the answer and then the examiner or the one who is marking cannot know which number you have written, and to make the matter worse, you have only written the answers, you have not written the question, then it becomes very difficult for the examiner to mark. That's why we said anytime you are answering a history question, you write a response statement. Like for example, if you are told give 3 features of microlithic tools used during the late Stone Age, so the response statement can be features of microlithic tools. You can write a simple statement like that. That one is a response statement. You can also say features of microlithic tools used during the late Stone Age period. That one is a response statement, and when the examiner is marking, we'll see this is the question that you're trying to answer. Otherwise, if you write the answers without the response statement and you have not numbered your work, then you will fail. Let me tell you, you will fail. So number 18, the features of microlithic tools, they were very small in size. Number 2, they were more efficient. Number 2, they were crafted or fitted with handles. Next, they were used to perform multiple tasks. They were sharp or refined. Next, you are told explain 6 factors that undermine hunting and gathering activities by early humans. What undermined the hunting and gathering activities? Attack by wild animals discouraged them, as it posed threat to their lives. Next, scarcity of the animals. Fruits in some cases denied them regular supply of food. So there was scarcity of animals and fruits. Next, unfavorable weather conditions made it difficult to carry out activities. Number 4, locating animals, fruits were difficult as it would involve large areas. Next, it was time consuming as it involved chasing the animals for long distances. Next, many people were required for the success of the activity. So if they were few, they could not do something and get an animal, or maybe gather enough fruits or vegetables for them to consume. Next, it was tedious or tiresome as animals ran faster than human, and wild fruit tools could be found in far off areas. Next, stiff competition with wild animals among human beings for food. Next, poisonous fruits or roots could be gathered, leading to loss of life. Number 19, give 3 communities that participated in a Maji rebellion. This one is common. 3, Zaramo, Matumbi, Bena, Pogoro, Mbonga, Ngoni, Luguru, Wamwera, Dendeule, Yao, Kichi. These are the communities that participated. You must remember them in your exam. Explain 6 reasons why Africans were defeated by Germans in March Rebellion. Why were they defeated? Despite the fact that they were sprinkled some water, and the priest told them that the water was immune to bullets. So Africans were not organized in their resistance. Each community fought on their own. Lack of proper coordination. Number 2, the magic water failed to protect the Africans from German bullets, leading to the death of African soldiers in the battle. Lack of unity. Africans did not unite to fight a common enemy. E.g., Hehe and Nyamwezi did not join the revolt. These are the 2 examples of communities that did not fight the Maji rebellion, Hehe and Nyamwezi. Then Germans received reinforcement in the form of mercenary soldiers and weapons from Germany, Somalia, Sudan, which overwhelmed African soldiers. Next, African leaders. Let us go back. African soldiers lacked enough weapons against the Germans. Next, the capture and execution of African leaders, including Kijete Kitile and Mpanga, demoralized the warriors. The famine of 1907 weakened the Africans, as it was caused due to destruction of crops during the war. It was caused by destruction of crops during the war. That is 1907. Number 20. Name 3 founding leaders of African National Congress. The 3 founding leaders of African National Congress. Youth League, that was formed in 1943. Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu, Oliver Tambo. Next, explain 6 problems faced by nationalists in Mozambique during the struggle against the Portuguese colonialism. Problems faced by African or Mozambique during the struggle against the Portuguese colonialism. Number 1, shortage of basic needs such as food and clothes, especially guerrilla fighters in the forest. Next, the church in Mozambique condemned Frelimo as a terrorist organization, becoming an enemy of the people. Next, Frelimo encountered competition from rural guerrilla movement such as the Revolutionary Committee of Mozambique, Coremo. Next, the assassination of Frelimo leader Edward Mondlane demoralized the fighters. Next, the massacre of civilians, arrest and detention of nationalists by Portugal government in Mozambique spread fear to the Africans. Next, the nationalist parties lacked enough finances needed to coordinate the activities in Mozambique, so they did not have the money they needed to conduct the activities in that country. Next, ethnicity, which diverted their attention from the common enemy and started fighting themselves. Portuguese outlawed any political party in Mozambique, making the nationalist party to operate from Dar es Salaam, Tanganyika. Then, number 21, state 3 reasons why Britain used Imperial British East African Company to administer our possessions in East Africa or in Africa. Inadequate fund by the government. But to absence of clear policy on administration of the colonial possessions. Next, inadequate personnel. Inadequate personnel to work in Africa. The company and experience of working in Africa, so they decided to use it to administer. Next, explain 6 reasons which made British to use indirect rule to administer northern Nigeria. Explain 6 reasons which made British to use indirect rule to administer northern Nigeria. Number 1, in order to avoid resistance from the people of northern Nigeria, as the local chiefs continued to administer colonies. Number 2, the British had inadequate personnel for the vast territory, leaving the Africans to use Africans at the local level. Next, there was established centralized system of administration which were based on Sharia laws with emirs as their leader. Next, there was communication barrier between the British and the local communities, making it difficult for them to administer effectively. Next, inadequate and poor transport communication network, thus it was difficult to reach all parts. Next, to reduce the cost of administration in the colony since there was inadequate food. Next, the method was successfully being used in some of the British colonies in Uganda and India. Let's go to the next one, and this one is section C, where you are only supposed to answer 2 questions. You're supposed to answer 2 questions. So before you start answering, read all the questions and see the ones that you have more points. Points are clear, and the number you require are enough so that you can now start writing your answers. Number 22, give 3 European countries that formed the Triple Alliance before the outbreak of the First World War. Germany, Austria, Hungary, and then Italy. Explain 6 impacts of the First World War. 6 impacts of the First World War. It led to massive loss of human life as conflict between opposing camps continued. Next, there was a massive destruction of property, e.g. infrastructure, thus causing a lot of suffering, poverty and loss of livelihood. Next, displacement of people, thereby creating refugee homes or homeless people. Next, it led to use of huge sums of money, thereby weakening the economies of the countries involved. Next, the size of Germany was reduced as France regained our lost provinces of Alsace and La Rouen. Next, led to the creation of the League of Nations to maintain international peace and security. Next, it led to insecurity, which in turn disrupted economic activities, e.g. trade and agriculture. Next, it led to the promotion of status of women in USA and Europe, e.g. women took up the leading positions in the military and families were separated and many children orphaned. Number 23. Give 5 functions of the Commonwealth. Very common question. Functions of Commonwealth: to provide financial assistance to member states, Number 2, provide technical assistance to member countries. Next, promote education and research among member states. Next, grant members or member countries favorable training opportunities. Next, provide a forum for promoting peace among member states. Next, to provide democratization among member states. Next, to promote friendship and understanding among member states. Next, to enhance the development of legal systems among member states. Next, to provide a forum for heads of state to consult on international issues. Next, serve as a watchdog against the violation of human rights among member states. Next, explain 5 achievements of non-aligned movement. What are some of the achievements of non-aligned movement? And remember, the non-aligned movement was formed, and these countries wanted to be neutral, neutral, not to be aligned to capitalism or socialism. So they remained neutral. So what were some of these achievements? Number 1, provided members with a forum that discussed issues related to arms race, leading to end of Cold War. So provided member state with a forum that discussed issues related to arms race, leading to end of Cold War. In other words, the non-allied movement helped to reduce the tension, and also they participated in ending Cold War. Number 2, helped to promote trade in developing countries as they addressed issues related to unfair trade practice affecting developing countries. So helped to promote trade in developing countries. Remember, most of the member states were from Africa and North America, and then some part of Asia. Those are the member states of the non-allied movement, but the majority come from developing countries. That is the third world countries. Next, provided member countries with a forum to discuss global problems, e.g. health, education, thus finding a solution to global problems. Next, it encouraged member countries to articulate their national interests before those of superpowers. Next, it set up Solidarity Fund, which gave assistance to frontline countries in the struggle against apartheid rule. Next, it created a new world economic order by allowing members to have economic ties with Eastern and Western blocs. Next, it gave members a forum to speak in one voice on the international arena. Number 24, the question is, name 3 objectives of the East African communities. What were some of the objectives? Why East African Community was formed, EAC? Number 1, to promote trade among the 3 East African countries. Number 2, to promote common services in areas such as railway, harbors, and telecommunication. Next, to provide a wider and more secure market for goods produced in the region. Next, to facilitate free movement of the people. Next, to enhance and strengthen closer ties and understanding between the member states. Next, provide a forum where the 3 member states or 3 countries would discuss issues of concern to them. Next, to establish similar custom, tariff, and duties to non-member states. Next, to enhance self-sufficiency, self-reliance, and full independence from the rest of the world. Go to B. Explain 6 achievements of Pan-African movement. 6 achievements of Pan-African movement. It provides African nationalism by encouraging Africans to unite against colonial injustices. Number 2, it restored African dignity, confidence by demanding respect for African values. Next, it made Africans aware of their status in society, thereby encouraging them to struggle for their rights. Next, it created a sense of unity among people of African descent by enlightening to their common origin for the Europeans. Next, it condemned mobilized people to protest against European colonization, domination of Africans, e.g. Mussolini in 1935 in Ethiopia. Next, it led to formation of OAU. Next, it appealed or put pressure on international community to act against apartheid regime in South Africa. Next, it encouraged the formation of nationalist movement which liberated Africans from colonial rule. We are through with this paper. I think you have been able, or I believe you have been able to understand some of these questions that they bring, and you can easily answer them, because we said the functions of any movement, may it be AEC, may it be Commonwealth, may it be COMESA, may it be any other movement, they have almost similar functions. Also the achievement, they are almost similar. So what you need to do is to master one of them and also read through and see whether what I'm saying is true or not, so that when you get a question on one of them, you can easily answer and get the answers correct. We have come to an end of this video. We thank you so much for watching from the beginning up to the end, and we request you, if you have not yet subscribed, take a few seconds, subscribe to our channel, like our video, also turn on notification. By doing that, whenever we upload a video like this one on the revision on different subjects, you can easily be notified by YouTube. You can also leave a comment for us, tell us something. Maybe there is a point we have not written, you can write it in the comment section. Otherwise, we wish you good luck in all your exams. Let's meet in our next video. Good luck.